Hey guys, Roxy Sims here, and I have another speed build for you today. Today I am building the Britechester Cafe, but this building also has a laundromat, a bookstore, and 2 apartments. Yes, this build has it all. It is on a 20 by 15 lot, so it really is quite a bit of things put into such a tiny lot. I definitely wanted to match all the other buildings around this building, and they are all, really tall, so I went 3 stories with this. And since all the other buildings are right next to another building, none of them are just by themselves. So, that's what I had to do. I had to put 2 separate buildings, 3 stories each, and put a lot of stuff in them, because this is a British style world, and I think that is more like what you would really find in this kind of world. I will mostly be using this build for the cafe, so it is my focus. The cafe part of this build is 2 stories, it's the biggest part, but you could use it as whatever you would like. So I think I'm going to use it as a cafe, and then my Sims can also bring their laundry to do here while they're at the cafe. They can get a beverage while they're waiting for their laundry to wash and dry. But like I said, you can use it as whatever. You can use it as a bookstore, set it to retail and just use it to sell books. Or you could have your Sim live in either one of the apartments. So like I said, there are 2 apartments. One is in the top floor of each of the buildings. I did put enough space in the cafe area of this build that you could have your Sim study there if you would like. I have a big table in the 2nd story of the cafe. I even have a research machine. So if studying at a cafe is what you want to do, that is great. I even set the lot to be a good place to study. So that is what I'm going to do. I'll have my Sim drop off their laundry, go get a beverage, study a little for class, and that's the main way that I will be using this. So guys, how have you been? I feel like it has been a bit since I've made a video. It really hasn't been that long, but I think it's made worse by the fact that I was unable to make a video even though I wanted to. So I've been having some computer troubles, and it's been such a pain. Okay, so I'll just explain it. All of a sudden, my computer updated, and I did not have any sound during The Sims. With my video editing software, I could not get any sound to come out at all. Not even with headphones. Nothing I tried worked. I could not figure it out. So eventually what I had to do was I had to go into the settings of my computer, and I had to change it to where, see, the default speakers were set to the only speakers I have for the computer, and even though the app's settings were set to use the default speaker, it wasn't using those speakers, so I had to specifically, I didn't have to put it to not default, but to the name of the actual speaker that I use for my computer. It was so weird. Honestly, I probably am not even making sense right now, but I just had to fiddle with it for a long time. I went days without any sound, and it was so annoying because I couldn't edit my video. I couldn't edit, I couldn't do a voiceover for it. I couldn't do the music for it. And nobody I talked to who knows anything about computers knew what was wrong with it, so that's been a pain, but I just had to fiddle with it enough, and I just finally figured it out. So ugh, computer troubles. And I still do not know why the apps on my computer wouldn't use the default speakers, even though the only speakers are set to default. It makes no sense. Ugh. I hate when my computer updates, something bad always happens. So I'm just thankful that I eventually figured it out, and I have to take it in somewhere, because they always take forever. It's gone for 3 days, and I don't like that. I don't like being computerless for 3 days. I try to work on my Sims videos nearly every day, so, you know, I go through like withdrawals if I don't have it. Nobody really warned me about that part of having a YouTube channel. So I talked to some people who have YouTube channels before I started, tried to ask a lot of questions, but nobody told me how kind of like life-consuming it would be. And it truly is. So if you start a YouTube channel or you're wanting to start one, here I am warning you. Since no one warned me, it is overwhelming. It takes over. So be aware, be prepared. It's gonna permeate your life, that's for sure. So guys, I wanted to tell you a little bit of a story behind this cafe. So I kind of came up with the story for this cafe almost when I was finished building it. It just kind of all fit together and made sense. So here's the dealio. It's kind of a sad story, to be honest with you. So prepare yourself. But a little old lady owns this cafe, and she lives in the apartment above the cafe. But this lady, she got married when she was very young. Her husband was in the Navy, or a Sims equivalent of the Navy, and I even have a picture of him upstairs in the apartment. It's that man who's wearing a Navy uniform. I think it came with cats and dogs. But anyways, her husband was in the Navy pretty much right when they got married, only a little bit after he was deployed, and unfortunately he passed away when he was deployed. And they had just like such an epic romance that she really never wanted to get married again. So she has lived this like super fulfilling life of she's traveled a lot. And I even have a couple things in her apartment that I imagine she got during her travels. And the unfortunate part about everything is that she never got to have children. And her husband never got to have children before he passed away. So, in her golden years, they call it that, right? They're golden years. She's like settled down to this one place, bought the cafe, and she loves that she can use the cafe as it's fulfilling for her because she's always wanted to be a mom, and she does like mother these college students that come and hang out here. They spend lots of time here, they study here, and she's just like the mom of the groups of kids that come in and out. And she makes sure they have home-cooked meals and, just overwhelmingly take care of them. And so it's a very fulfilling job for her. And honestly, I don't know where that story came from. I was just building it, and it just seemed to make sense to me. I think like once I put that Navy picture in her apartment, it just all clicked. I always feel so silly making up those like super in-depth stories about things like this, but it really does help when I'm building. It helps me pick out certain items that would make the most sense for the type of person that I'm building it for. So yeah, I can't be the only one either. Like, surely someone else makes these crazy stories. I hope so anyways. You know what I have been thinking about a lot, you guys, is the fact that it is December of 2019. In a couple short weeks, it's gonna be 2020, and that's just insane. My mind can't honestly comprehend it. I kind of want to dress like, a flapper girl from now on, being in the 20s. That'd be fun. But I'm loving the fact that it's December. I really like winter. It is, it's eggnog season, y'all. I am actually drinking some eggnog right now. What is your opinion on eggnog? I know that both eggnog and, what do you call those? Candy corn. Eggnog and candy corn, they get the strongest reactions of anything out there. You either absolutely adore it or you loathe it. There is never any in between with anyone. I happen to like both of them. I always get candy corn every October, and I always get eggnog every December. I just, I have to. So I only get like it once though, like once a year. I love this stuff, but once a year is good. And then I'm pretty much done. I actually got this new kind. It is Southern Comfort Vanilla Spice Eggnog. It has no actual Southern Comfort in it. It's non-alcoholic, but it is really good, you guys. It's like a different flavor though. But I think I will have to get 2 cartons of eggnog this year, because while this stuff is very good, it doesn't quite have that like, normal eggnog flavor. So I gotta fulfill it. Every single year I have to get candy corn and eggnog. I just love the flavors that are going on this time of year. I'm like huge into cooking. I love cooking and all the spices and stuff. Oh man, this kind of cooking is my jam. I love it. Oh, you know what is the best smelling thing in the world? Is cooking homemade cranberry sauce. I mean, I know canned cranberry sauce, everyone tends to go for it, but I made cranberry sauce one year and I'll never look back. Not only is it delicious, but it smells so good. It makes the house smell amazing. But yeah, I love the cooking this time of year, and staying inside and being all warm and cozy and hot cocoa and yeah, all of that. I love it. Well guys, we have moved on to the laundromat. As you can see, I have made it a little dingy looking, and that's just my experience of laundromats that I have been to in the past. Not always the cleanest, I must say. So I had to use that dingy flooring that came with I think it was the Strangerville pack. And have you ever had the misfortune of having to spend lots and lots of time at a laundromat? It sucks. I hate it so much. So whenever I was growing up, I had to go to laundromats all the time. Seems like our washer was always breaking as a kid. But also, whenever me and my husband first got married, our apartment that we were living in, they kind of lied to us a little bit. They're like, oh yeah, we have laundry, you can use it whenever. But they had 2 washers and dryers for the entire building, and they were absolutely never empty, ever, ever, ever. So impossible to use them. They're always being used by someone else. So we always had to take all our laundry to the laundromat, and man, that is boring. That is an awful place to be. But I eventually got smart and started bringing my laptop and playing some Sims 3 while I was washing my laundry, and made it 1,000 times better. I also kind of made it to where it looks like it's also a dry cleaners. I don't really know if that's a thing. Is that a thing where a dry cleaner and a laundromat are together? No clue, but it should be, so that's how I made it. And now we're on to the bookstore. I figured a bookstore had to be involved somehow, considering coffee shop bookstore. I mean, they just go hand in hand. But I went for more of like a regal look in this bookstore. Oh, and I did just want to warn you, I don't have the apartments in this speed build video. I kind of wanted to focus more on the business part of these 2 buildings, so and I wanted to shorten the video a bit, so those aren't recorded, but I do have them in the screenshots at the end, so you still do get to see them, so I just wanted to warn you. As you can see here, I kind of made my own herringbone pattern flooring in this bookstore. So I took that diagonal flooring, the wood flooring that came in the vampire pack, and then I ran it one direction, and then right in the square next to it, I ran it in the opposite direction. So it kind of has a cool herringbone effect, and yeah, I kind of like it because I don't really like the herringbone pattern flooring that we already have in the game. It kind of looks weird to me. I don't know. So I'm glad I thought of the way to kind of make my own. And I do like that in the vampire pack, the wood that came with it, a lot of it is like a really good medium toned wood flooring. And so yeah, I really like that tone of wood. It's easy to match to other tones of wood, so I like to use it a lot. I rarely use vampires, to be honest with you, but I use the build buy stuff from the vampire pack all the time. It was so worth my money. Oh, by the way, if you would like to download this build off of the gallery, I will have it set to a cafe. So in case you're, wondering which category to look in, it will be a cafe. Hey, and if you do download it, let me know, like, how you're going to use it. Since there are multiple ways that you could use this building, I'm always curious how everyone ends up using it, as a place to live, as the bookstore. Just let me know. I'd love to hear it. My gallery ID is Roxxy Sims, same as the channel, just with no space. And as always, if you ever download any of my builds, make sure to have the Move Objects cheat on before you download it. I always use that cheat in all of my builds. The other cheat that I pretty much always use is the Show Hidden Objects cheat. So that is bb.showhiddenobjects. And in this build, I'm also using the bb.showLiveEditObjects cheat because I'm also using the vines, the wall vines that came in the university pack. I love those wall vines. I'm telling you, I'm going to use it on practically everything. So I use both of those cheats and the Move Objects cheat as well. Well guys, we are pretty much done with this build. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. It means the absolute world to me, it really does. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I hope to talk to you all again very soon. Bye everybody!